It's the beginning part of 2023, making it the perfect time to tear down my entire bedroom studio gaming and streaming setup, clean it, reorganize it, and then put it all back together, showing you guys how to set up everything from a hardware and software perspective. Freaking dust, man. Now this is what I'm talking about. It's so much better down here. It's like I just moved in. The bedroom studio has finally reached a proficient level of cleanliness. As you can see, we got all of the gunky dirt and dust all up off this floor. Whereas all the tech items and extra accessories, well, they're all sitting right here on my bed, cleaned off, dusted, ready to be put back together. It's actually kind of insane how I've accumulated this many pieces of tech items. Could I have gotten all of these items at once? Hell no! These are just the kind of things you can build up over time as you keep changing and tweaking your setup. But now with all of my tech items cleaned off, it's time to put it all back together, starting with this microphone boom arm stand from Samsung. Low key, this microphone stand was a little bit of a gem to find because the majority of microphone stands out there seem to have those exposed coils, and in my opinion, those mic stands just don't look as clean and nice. Next, we gotta add our USB hub back onto the desk for conveniently charging different devices. We also have our Razer mousepad, which looks to be kinda dirty still, but bro, I tried to clean this to the best of my ability. We also have our monitor stand, and I love this thing because I can adjust it to 3 different levels, making it fit perfectly over my USB hub. But now, what good is a monitor stand without the monitor? So here we have the Dell P2417H 22-inch monitor, nothing fancy, it's just great for using as an extended display with my computer, which we're running a 2017 15-inch MacBook Pro with a quad-core i7, 16GB of RAM, and 4GB of AMD Radeon Pro 560 graphics. Though this MacBook Pro is on the old side of tech, it is still a phenomenal machine. It runs all my streams really well. I can edit seamlessly in at least 1080p 60 FPS. My biggest issue probably right now is the space that I have on this computer. I only have about 500 gigs of usable space on the machine, and it's just not enough for all the editing and all the files that I have on the computer. To pair with my MacBook, I have a Moken USB-C adapter that has Ethernet, HDMI, USB-C, 3 USB ports, and an SD card slot. If the ports on my primary adapter ever fill up, I have a backup adapter by Otolo that has 4 USB 3.0 ports. Next up, we have a second adjustable monitor stand, which I use to put my PS5 on so that it elevates nicely up off the ground. To pair with that PlayStation 5, I have a Kuri 144Hz 1440p monitor. As great a time as I've had with this monitor, I feel like I've been duped. It was clearly advertised that this was a monitor that could support 1440p at up to 144Hz refresh rate. Come to find out, this monitor can only support 60Hz at 1440p and 120Hz at 1080p on the PlayStation 5. Thank you for lying to me. Beyond that, I use the TP-Link 5-port gigabit Ethernet network switch so that my internet coming out of my router is fully extended to both my PlayStation 5 and my computer. Next up, we have the Elgato Wave 3 microphone, which honestly is one of the best USB microphones you can get out there on the market. I love this thing, and it's pretty affordable as well. It screws directly into my microphone boom arm stand that we added to the desk earlier. I also have an Elgato Stream Deck to pair with this, in addition to our capture card of choice, which is the AverMedia Live Gamer Extreme 3 that's connected to my 4th and final available port on my MacBook Pro using the Godspin Super Speed USB-C to USB-C cable. This cable, guys, has been a lifesaver pairing any capture card that supports USB-C with my Mac. Using basic charging cables will not work with this setup as it doesn't have the speed to deliver the video signal from the capture card to the computer in a high quality or really any quality at all. It doesn't work. To To run my live streams off my Mac, I've continued to use Windows through Boot Camp as it's a little less quirky than using Mac OS. With that being said, let me show you my primary scenes and sources that I have configured in OBS today, starting out with the AverMedia Live Gamer Extreme 3, which sits on top of my MidnightMan blue background logo, as you can see here. Let's unhide that capture card source so we can see it in all its beauty. Within the device properties, I don't have any special settings configured. Probably the fanciest thing I have is within my filters section. I've added some color correction tweaks and a sharpen filter. Above that, we have the browser source for the chat box, which is just the streamlabs.com chat box widget plugged into the browser source within OBS here so that I can see all the chat messages popping up on the screen live. Next, we also have the Streamlabs widget for the alerts. So anytime someone subscribes or donates, that's gonna pop up in the form of a graphic alert on top of the stream. Now, I'm also using a flavor of stream elements within my OBS sources here as well. And this is mainly so that I can use stream labels like you see right above me for recent subscribers and donators. The promo wheel is also another browser source URL that is from Stream Elements, and that's so you can see the rotation of my different social media platforms, such as YouTube being MidnightMan. You also see my Twitter, my Instagram handles. Great for people to see so they know where to follow me. Above that, I have a subscribe animation, so when this is active, that's gonna pop up on screen. A little bit of a reminder. Hit that subscribe button. My Facecam folder contains all the elements that are part of my Facecam. That includes the graphic border that surrounds my Facecam. This Facecam border does have motion in it, which is why it's a .webm file. I got it made on Fiverr. They do a pretty good job over there. The Video Ninja source is just in case I need to use my phone as a webcam, which hopefully won't be the case anymore as I have updated my camera from the previous camera that I used to own, the Canon M50. It just gave me so many issues, glitches. Whenever it would freeze out, I would lose all my footage. It was a big hassle to deal with towards the end. It served me well for, quite a bit of time before that, but now I've updated to the Canon R6 Mark II camera. That camera I am filming on as we speak. I don't know how many of you guys noticed the difference. The lens I've paired with this camera is a 24 to 70 millimeter f2.8 Sigma lens. It's beautiful. It's really sharp. I did need to adjust some settings on this camera to get it working for live streaming. That includes disabling the screen off and auto shutoff functions, in addition to enabling the clean HDMI output. Enabling this keeps the camera's LCD screen on, but delivers a clean HDMI feed to my Camlink or generic USB capture card. Since the camera is gonna be constantly consuming power, I have a dummy battery so that I never have to worry about my camera dying because of power issues midway through a stream. From there, I'm able to easily add it as a video capture device source in OBS. I also have a folder here for my stream audio. That means the stream alerts, Discord audio. These are in the form of the application audio capture, which you can have on OBS 28, 29, and later. And then in the folder above that, I just have some sources for text in case I need to show custom codes or certain things on the screen. Next, I have a stream intro scene that contains my MidnightMan video graphic that loops. Above that base graphic, I have the Streamlabs widget for the chat box as a browser source. I have a text source that says starting, and below that, I have a text source that's associated with the countdown timer. I can manage the source by going to the tools section of OBS, and within here, I can manually modify the duration of this countdown timer. If you're wondering where you can pick up this script, I put a link in the description below with some instructions to install it. Another scene I use a lot is my full face scene. This scene is set up similarly to my gameplay scene, but it's specifically for showcasing my full face cam using the Camlink 4K, pulling in that clean HDMI from my camera. Pairing the Stream Deck with OBS is incredibly powerful as I'm able to seamlessly control actions such as switching between scenes, enabling and disabling sources within those scenes, all at the single click of a button. If you guys are curious for how I added this custom transition, which I also had made on Fiverr, I added it using the Stinger transition feature in OBS. Here I was able to select that WebM video file of the transition, then I could just manually set what the transition time frame would be in milliseconds so that my scenes switch smoothly between one another. You remember the Elgato Wave 3 we hooked up earlier? Well, that microphone allows me to use the Elgato Wavelink app, which is a powerful tool for having complete control over my stream audio. Starting on the left side is the Wave 3 mic audio that I use for commentary. For game chat, I use a completely separate microphone, which is my Find mic that I plug directly into my PS5. This mic definitely doesn't sound the best, but I love the mute button that it comes with, so that way I don't have to talk over my party while I'm chatting with my stream. Back in the Wavelink software, I have an audio channel for my AverMedia capture card input over HDMI, not using the chat link cable here, just HDMI output from the console. Next to that, I have an audio channel for my Spotify music. To the right of that is my browser audio channel that's associated with Google Chrome. How am I able to set up all of these audio preferences within the Wavelink app? Well, if you go to the right-hand side, you're gonna see an audio settings icon. Click on that and that'll open up a page within your Windows or Mac operating system where you can associate each app with their respective channel. Now, to pull all of the audio from the Elgato Wavelink software into OBS, in my OBS settings, I need to go to the audio section and then select the Wavelink as a mic auxiliary device. Now for me to hear all that audio coming through the Wavelink, I just plug in my Bose SoundLink 2 headphones directly into the Wave 3 microphone. The more stuff I add to this setup, the crazier the cable management situation continues to get. That's why a little bit ago, I picked up a cable management kit. It was super affordable. The kit doesn't have every single item that you might need to manage your cables properly, but it has the majority, and I have some ideas for how it can work best for my setup. Having a clean looking cable setup was something I never really cared about, but after so many times looking under my desk, seeing how ugly things were down there, it was time to make a change. If I had to pull a cable from one side of my desk to the other, I would use these brackets that would stick right under my desk to hold these cables into place. For the second power strip, I actually let the majority of those cables hang loose since they would be hidden by my drawer anyways. This was a pretty tedious exercise, but here's the final result. Okay, I asked you guys in my Discord server if you're interested in seeing my lighting setup for my videos. You guys said yes, so here it is. Let's start off with the light that keeps my face nice and bright every single video. That being the UB-sized 10-inch ring light on top of a 50-inch extendable tripod. It accepts power via USB and has 3 different color controls as well as a brightness adjustment. To the right of that on my desk, I have a basic flexible neck lamp with a LifeX bulb inside, allowing me to adjust not only the color of this side of the room, but the color temperature of my face when I'm filming at my desk. Directly to the right of that, I have a Galaxy Star projector with several different color settings. It just turns my room into a nebula in space. It's just amazing, and I love the vibe that this thing creates in my room. I also have some lighting on my back dresser, one of those being a MidnightMan LED light that was gifted to me on my last birthday by a friend. Thank you, bro. Going over to the left side of my dresser, I have this wooden train that I made in 8th grade, by the way. I added some battery-powered fairy lights to this. To light up the back part of my dresser, I attached a Gouvet LED light strip, which I can control directly from their app. Now, that wasn't enough LED lights for me, so I added some triangle lights above my bed, which can also be controlled within an app. With all of these items that I have here put together, I wanted to think of what the grand total would be. And the figure that I came up with was $9,500. Oh, wow. That is insane. But I hope this showcase of every single component of my setup and how I put it together was helpful to you guys. If it was, and you stayed to the very end, make sure you hit the video with the big thumbs up, put a peach in the comment section as well, so that I know you definitely made it to the end. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, of course. Thank you so much. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.